her reaction doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I would have been like, what the? No, she was just like,
you guys know that's not how I feel. But honey, if you're like, I must have just liked it as I'm scrolling, then what is your algorithm filled with?
yeah.
Because I know what my algorithm is filled with. It's an echo chamber of things that I like.
It absolutely feeds you what you feed it, especially for a public figure. You like things very carefully.
And the thing is, though, is that this is 2023. This is 2 years ago. She wasn't even thinking about being back on Orange County. So she's liking and sharing stuff from her own personal views, not from the views of I'm a housewife on a television show.
These were no secret, these posts. We saw them, but you just kind of expected it from her.
We gonna stir it up and do things our way. So if you wanna move, get out of our way.
Hey.
Happy November, everybody. It's almost the end of 2025. Can you believe it?
No, I refuse to acknowledge the passing of time. So
Spoken like a true Leo. You're like, I'm ageless. Come on.
like Ramona Singer.
Yeah. But she is unfortunately Sagittarius or Scorpio. She's like late Scorpio or early Sagittarius. I can't remember. I think she's I hope she's not a Sagittarius like me. But it's countdown to my birthday. We're about a month away. So yay. Anyway, I will drop my my Venmo or Cash App in the description box below if you want to send me a little happy birthday present. I don't care. It could be $5. I mean, that's not going to go far in this economy, but hey.
Are we transitioning to an OnlyFans here?
I don't have Jen's yoga body to like do the naked yoga on OnlyFans, so this is the next best thing. Just saying.
Yeah.
But I was about to say something else, but I'm not going to because I want to keep our nice YouTube rating. So. Although I do want to say one thing about the passage of time. It is our 301st episode. We hit 300 last week.
That's
and
insane.
We didn't celebrate it. I know.
That's 3 times TV syndication.
Right? Imagine the money we could be making back in the 1980s.
Hear that, like Chuck Lorre? Who else is like a Shonda Rhimes?
Shonda, come on.
Just PCP's Anatomy.
Talk about scandal.
Yeah.
Like, my gosh.
Well,
how to get away with podcasting.
I mean, Housewives is kind of like how to get away with murder. We see people's reputations slaughtered on screen week after week. Which I guess, speaking of, if you guys forgot why you tuned in, it's a little thing called The Real Housewives of Orange County, and this is the season finale.
The creepy clown music, as Heather Dubrow called it, and I was like, it is creepy clown music. It is.
I like those Housewives tunes, by the way, especially Orange County and Beverly Hills. They're a little mischievous. Like sometimes when I'm doing something really evil, I start humming to myself. Those like as I'm about to send a text that's gonna like rock someone's world. Dun, 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 dun. Send.
You do that. I go so old school. I am very much more dramatic. I'm like Dallas theme song. I'm like da 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 da. That's what I am.
Yeah.
Anyway, because I can't get the trumpet for the Dynasty theme song, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to do that.
So
anyway, but
we're in
it's
Amsterdam.
the season finale. That's the episode today.
We are in Amsterdam, and it kind of opens with Gretchen and Slade, a little chat. You know, they're doing that, getting ready in their room, and I love Gretchen and talking to Slade, and this whole thing. Always the victim. always the victim. It just keeps circling back later. We'll get to it later. But where she
Mm-hmm.
talks about how it's mentally exhausting fighting with someone who never takes true accountability. And I was like, Gretchen.
This like that and girl, you decided to take up the invitation and come back onto this show, knowing exactly who was on it. So
Yeah.
am I victim blaming? Yes, I am. Because there's no victim here. Because you decided. It's like, oh, I'm very upset that I might get murdered, but I decided to take this job on Elm Street. Like, hello, like this is like oh, you decided to go work where Freddy Krueger is, and you knew that was there. You knew that this was a possibility. Okay, well, there you go, girl. There you go. So yeah, no, I have no sympathy for her.
Did she really think after all these years, all these 12 years we keep hearing, it's been 12 years, and she's been like stalking, tracking, whatever, just obsessed with the show that she's no longer on. She's watched it, so she knew what she was walking into, like you said, that this was going to be
Right.
everyone bows down. Tamara is going to apologize, like get on her knees, and like all I've thought about for the past decade plus, Gretchen, was how I need to make it up to you. Well,
this is the thing too. And because I don't want listeners or viewers to get it twisted. Two things can be true at the same time. We can dislike Heather. I mean, why did I say Heather? We can dislike Gretchen and dislike Tamara at the same time. The two are not mutually exclusive. Like there's not. We can also like be like Tamara. Why am I messing up their names in my head? Tamara is very calculated and everything like that. But so is Gretchen and Slade. And she's got Slade with her. So it's not just Gretchen having plotted for this many years. It's Slade too. It's the two of them. Because he is clearly very upset going back years of what she has done to him too. So this is really like Gretchen is carrying the torch for both of them. And I bet I could be completely wrong, but this is a hypothetical because there's no way of knowing. But I bet if she was not with Slade, Gretchen might have let most of this shit go years ago. You know what I mean? I think it really is, hell hath no fury than a poor man scorned.
Yeah, I mean, she doubled down, tripled down, stayed with him. Well, I was gonna say married, but no. But life partnered with him, had a kid with him. She's, I guess, ride or die. I don't know what the term would be.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Good for her for like standing by her man. But at what cost? At least in this, like,
by her assistant.
I don't know.
She's a great employer.
I'm very much, I want to be with the both of them. Let the mouse go, like very Sutton-esque. Like let the mouse go for both of them. But the thing is that actually Gretchen is not letting it go, and Tamara will think maybe that she lets it go, and as soon as Gretchen doesn't let it go, Tamara just comes back swinging, because Tamara can't let it go either completely. She'll let it go until something is anyway. I don't know. They're both exhausting.
One's just better at it. One is just the truth. A lot better at this.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. All right. Well, let's go. Okay. They break up for the day. It's Gina, Shannon, and Heather going to an indoor maze, and they take shrooms. And then it's Tamara, Gretchen, Emily, and Jen, and they're going to go swing off the side of a building.
We get kind of
go ahead.
We get kind of a shout out in this because Tamara, once again, which she brought up because of us. Let's as I say, you guys can go to the comments. We'll have to screenshot it. It'll be a big when we talked about were Jen and Tamara swingers. There's a lot of weird tension. Something's not being discussed, and found the post, commented, "Ew, I've never been a swinger." And then she goes on the Nick Vile podcast and discusses it. You're welcome.
Yep. You're welcome. You're
And
welcome.
she brings it up again. Oh, yeah. She says, "I've never been a swinger.
I've never had multiple sexual partners in my life."
So I was honored once again. This is where it comes up later, but the women are kind of like what I was saying last week. They're making fun of Shannon Spanx. And they said, well, I don't know Spanx, and I couldn't put my finger on it, but they were saying, like, I was questioning the purpose of it, and they put it correctly. It just is redistributing everything on her. So it's just moving it to, that's what I was trying to like put into words. I'm like, it's not tricking anyone or hiding anything. Right. And then they took it a sausage, and a can of biscuits ready to pop.
No, I can't believe I'm going to kind of defend Emily here, but I do think that they were, at first it was the thing about Shannon wearing the Spanx, but I also get like, and what I said last week is like, Spanx is more about smoothing the lumpy parts out, because no, it's not going to make you look thinner necessarily, but it can make the bulging parts look better. And I do kind of agree with Emily, is like, you as soon as you get it open but Emily, when she made that joke, it wasn't about Shannon. It was about Spanx. Like, you watch the whole thing in context, and you're like, it started off talking about Shannon Spanx, but then then they were just talking about Spanx in general, and why Emily doesn't like Spanx, and why she thinks like, and this was the thing, which I find different than what Jen said last week about Shannon and her Spanx, of like, why would she want to date anybody? Why would anybody want to date her? No, that wasn't what was said. Jen was like, well, if she's out with a guy, he's going to touch her ass. And then what is he going to touch? He's going to feel this like Spanx. Like, that's weird. Now that's going against Shannon. Do you know what I mean? That's saying something about Shannon wearing her Spanx, of like, why would some guy want to date you if you're wearing Spanx? Which is interesting, because when Gretchen comes back and tells Shannon that, she's basically telling the shit that Jen was saying, not like really accurately what Emily was joking about in the car, and that Jen and Gretchen and Tamara were all laughing about.
Shannon in the end handled it so well. And that, I mean, I thought she would pop up. I wanted a little bit of a quiet woman moment with Kelly Dodd, where she flung her plate at Emily and said, "It's not my plate, you fucking bitch." But instead, she did slip a little dig in. She just said, after all of your weight, she didn't say weight. She just said, after all of your issues, you were fat shaming me. But then they hugged it out. Yeah.
You know, then maybe Shannon's therapy is paying off more than Tamara's, much to your chagrin. So there you go.
Well, she also, at this point, had been on shrooms all day by the time she resolves it and drinking. So let's not take away my trip to rehab for Shannon. But no.
Well, there you go. Yeah. Well, I mean, she did think that she was hearing the OC theme song when they were in that maze place, and nobody was hearing that.
What a little narcissist.
That maze was more like a carnival fun house than a maze. Like, I was like,
yeah, I wouldn't do that sober, let alone on psychedelics or anything. It's just, I don't know where they come up with these, like, those are activities for like laser tag in high school. Those are from when you don't have these kind of like wholesome group activities. Let's go on a swing high up. Let's go on a maze. You guys are like full grown adults. You have access to drugs and alcohol. You don't, these are like activities you did in high school before you could party. And so I'm just like, this is so forced.
I am sure that, you know, the country of the Netherlands and maybe the city of Amsterdam was like, you need to show off in order to get these permits to film. We need you to show off some of the nicer, non-R-rated, X-rated, you know, places because Amsterdam is more than just space cakes and the red light district. It is. It's a lot more. I have a friend who lives there, so like, it's a lot more. So yeah, but what you call it? I mean, so they do the swing thing, and afterwards, Tamara and Gretchen have a little talk with Jen and Emily there. But like, I did think it was valid that Gretchen said that she was hoping that Tamara dealing with Teddy's cancer stuff would actually kind of resonate with Tamara and maybe make her feel a little, like, I guess, guilty for having treated Gretchen so poorly when Jeff was dying of cancer and stuff. And so you could see Tamara wanting to like be like, but bitch, you were cheating on him. But she took it, and she was like, you know what? You're right. You're right. In a defensive way, she apologized.
Well, I also think she was waiting for it to go farther than Jeff. I was waiting for it to go into Slade's son, Grayson. Slade's son died of cancer, the one he didn't really support, wasn't really there for, didn't pay child support for. That's where a huge chunk of their tension was. Because when I was like, oh, that's not going to go over well. No, they stopped it. It's like Gretchen and Tamara both kind of just accepted it. It stopped at Jeff, and that was it. Mm-hmm. They weren't going to elaborate. Tamara did kind of mock this makeup though, when she said, let's do a friendship contract. That was a shout out to Atlanta with Nene Leakes and Cynthia Bailey. And I was like, I was waiting for Gretchen to kind of burst out. I don't know if it registered with her, but it's like, Tamara's mocking this makeup right now. Yep. A friendship contract in housewives terms is a joke.
It is a joke. It's a complete joke. But I thought it was great, especially she made ChatGPT do it, and ChatGPT put in a Slate addendum, which I thought was hilarious. I was like, fine, you should like that. But I guess they like come back together, and then Gretchen takes Shannon on a convo walk, which then it's so funny because they start it, but we don't see it until dinner when they talk about the Spanx stuff. But Tamara and Gina go on a walk where Tamara tells Gina about said friendship contract. But she's like, but I know that she's not a good person. She's like, so I'm just basically, it's null and void. And then they talk about the posts and like, don't bring it up tonight. Wait till tomorrow because then we can fly back. Which I was like, that's evil and plotting. But I would have said the same thing too. Like, don't ruin the last day that we have together by bringing it up.
That was, I can't believe she said it on camera, because that is absolute. She is laying out the production schedule. That was very hands-on. That was kind of like what people accuse Kyle of doing behind the scenes. She just did it on camera. Like, let's plot this takedown out.
It was kind of like impressive yet sad that she did that. I was like, what are you doing? But oh well. I mean, but then Heather and Emily go to Heather's parents' old home in Amsterdam to do the whole like letting out the they're called ashes. Yeah, that's what they're called. They're called ashes. And they're talking outside. Do you think that the man truly came out by accident, or do you think that was...
They have that thing like off mic where they asked production if they would like to go in. That was the only thing, because otherwise it would be like, I was like, oh, how convenient. Heather will now be accused of calling the homeowner to come and like the paparazzi. But you did catch that like kind of off mic to production, which made me think maybe it was a coincidence.
That's what I thought too, because she also she looked off, like she looked at the producers to be like, can we can we do this? And they were like, yeah. And you know that they made him sign releases and mic'd him up and stuff. But
they're much more open about being on a show. I mean, this season, they're talking about production. The women are discussing. They say they draw the line at this group, like in the after show. They'll say this group, not this show. But,
correct. Well, and not this cast. Instead of cast, it's this group, this friend group. That's all and that's so funny because I was noticing that too. I was remarking on that as well. And there was something else, but yeah, this group as opposed to this show. But there's something else. There's another word they use instead of show. It'll come back to me. But yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, so they go to her parents' old house where her father, who wasn't the nicest, I guess, was his happiest. And they spread the ashes in the canal. And I wish I knew. I would first one, my mind works. It's like, God damn it, I don't know Amsterdam real estate, but I have a feeling that's a pretty prime location. I just knew it. It looked like it looked very Sonia Townhouse-esque. It's on a canal. I don't know if that's like being on Park Avenue or in Beverly Hills, but he was a big executive for an international company when he lived there. So I'm sure it was.
Well, there's lots of canals in Amsterdam. So, but it depends. Yeah, but there's different canals and stuff. I can actually ask my friend who lives there if she knows where that one is.
Yeah,
so,
she mentions it in the other episode. We're on the canal, and she asked I'm gonna call him a gondolier. I know, wrong country. The gondolier.
the captain of the ship. He's a ship. He's a boat captain.
Isn't it like a tugboat? I mean,
it's a little boat. I mean, it's still a boat.
But it's like a canal, like Venice.
Yeah.
So she says the name of the canal, but that's not the point. The point I was going to is I was so nervous watching Heather spread the ashes on the water because it took me straight back to Sonia Morgan. Sonia's ash spreading along the East River, or one of those rivers, Hudson, and it was like the most. The ashes are just blowing back on everyone. This one, wow.
Also Sutton doing, what's
Merce?
his name? Merce thing. I almost called him Merv. Merce is. I was like blowing back into Garcelle's face and everything. Like, no, she does it right. She does it perfectly. They actually blow away from her. It was like perfect. I was like, of course Heather did it right. Of course Heather did it right.
First housewife to ever execute a ash spreading without the ashes just covering her.
Yeah. Now some people are questioning why she is spreading the ashes now when her father died about 8 years ago.
Yeah.
But it's like I kind of go. I mean, granted, do I think a little bit is for the television? Probably. We knew that they were going to go to Amsterdam. Okay. But at the same time, I also go, you got the ashes. You can spread them whenever. So it's kind of like, and obviously they've been split up amongst family members. So, it's kind of like, meh, maybe it became a thing of we're doing a cast trip to Amsterdam. And she was like, hey mom, maybe it'd be nice if I spread some there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, because they show her mom, or she's on the phone with her mom, but her mom had sent some ashes to spread in Amsterdam ahead of the trip. So with that note, she's telling Terry about the note, very specific, very detailed.
Yes. Well, then they go to the dinner.
Yeah.
And this is where Shannon brings up the Spanx, and it flashes back to how Gretchen told Shannon and what Gretchen said. So Gretchen says it in a different way. It's very much of Emily was fat shaming you, was doing the biscuit thing. How would she? And I was like, it was definitely Gretchen being messy. Just, it really was. It really wasn't the this is out of concern. And to me, to be honest with you, the whole thing was a moment. And I have this conversation with some of my friends, and it goes, look, we all talk about our friends, especially people that we love. We talk about them to our other friends. I don't really want to know a lot of the stuff that my friends say about me, if it's not extremely hurtful or it's not going to be useful to me in my life. If my friends are like, I can't believe Stacey wore, sneakers to this event, and they're going on and on about it. Guess what? That's not something I really want to hear. I don't need to know that. That's not going to make a difference. But if they're like, Stacey needs to know that her boyfriend is cheating on her, that is something I do want to know. There's just varying things. And I think there are certain things talking about the Spanx, I don't want to know that. If my friends are kind of like, Stacey shouldn't wear Spanx so much, I'd be like, fuck you guys, I don't care. But I don't need to know that.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out Gretchen's intention. Obviously she is feeling a little at ease with Tamara. She doesn't know yet what's to come. This is after that friendship, that Chat GPT friendship contract. And I'm like, so
Mhm.
now I think she's feeling a little empowered to speak up and stir the pot with someone other than Tamara. So she did, like you said, Gretchen didn't need to say that. But I think she was sitting at the dinner table and I was like, oh, now I could finally have a moment, drama that isn't directed at Tamara or with Tamara. But yeah, it was mean. She didn't need to know. She'd see it on camera later, anyways. And
Exactly.
that was such a. It wasn't that big of a deal in Housewives world. It's not like they said her husband, her boyfriend, whoever was cheating, or someone's bankrupt, or someone's in
Yeah.
foreclosure. It wasn't like a Dorit kind of rumor.
No. It's also like, yeah, it's just one of those things they don't need to know. And it just definitely, it was interesting because Jen seemed to take Gretchen's perspective of the, well, yeah, we laughed, but I feel really bad at laughing now. And so now I'm trying to look like the better person. You know, there was very much a like holier than thou type of
Mm-hmm.
thing. It's like, well, Jen and Gretchen are up here and Emily and Tamara are down here, you know, for doing no, you guys were all on the same page. You
Mm-hmm.
all enjoyed the joke. You all were laughing about it. And now I don't really believe that you're trying to absolve yourself of your guilt here, Gretchen. I think you're trying to stir the pot here.
Oh. Do you think, okay, again, at this point of the episode, we don't know Gretchen in particular doesn't know what's to come. Do you think
Mhm.
she thought this was going to, like, this is one of the final dinners on the final trip, and she thought this was going to be the big explosive, she was going to kick off a fight between Shannon and Tamara and the group? She had no idea that people were like, we'll have a little nibble. This is like an appetizer. Gretchen, you're the main course tomorrow night on the menu.
I mean, maybe, but at the same time, it's so flimsy.
Mm-hmm.
And because it truly fizzled out so quickly. Shannon was upset. It mostly was really between Shannon and
Mm-hmm.
Emily was able to diffuse it, you know, and apologized for it, you know,
Mm-hmm.
for hurting Shannon's feelings. And Shannon was like, "Okay, I'm over it now. Like whatever." So it also, I don't think like Shannon said, I'm okay making fun of myself. Like I'm okay like talking about these spanks. Like it's okay. I just think it does hurt my feelings if you guys are going to talk about
Mm-hmm.
me in the spanks in this
Yeah.
way. And I think she made her point like, you know, validly across to them. So I feel like if Gretchen was doing it, it was very a freshman move and mistake to do it that way.
She's been playing Housewives on the internet like the rest of us for a very long
Yeah.
time. She is out of
Yeah.
practice. And again, I would not, if I hadn't played basketball in 12 years, I wouldn't hop on the court and say, bring me LeBron.
Right.
she, she should be going after Emily or Gina or even Shannon, just someone who
Honey,
is
she
not
should
at
be
the
going after Jen. She should be going after Jen, is what she should be
yeah.
going. I mean, look, she already went after Katie and got rid of Katie. She should be going after Jen because she could, if she was smart, she'd really team up with Shannon, like, or team up with like, you know, Heather. Well, we'll talk about that being really out of the question now. But like, for fuck's sake,
Oh yeah,
no,
no,
she never was really gonna team up with Heather.
I think that Gretchen views herself as an equal to Tamara in the Housewives game. And she was like, it's
And
going to
she's
be
not.
two heavyweights, two queen. No, you ran like a lamb to the slaughter, Rossi. You were outclassed.
Yeah.
Just a little rusty. She should have saved this. Of course, to make her mark, she needs to do something against Tamara this season. I get that if she wants to continue to next, but really she should. I'm acting like this is like an Olympic sport, but I'm like, she should have really warmed up this season. And then
Yes.
we keep finding this on the show though. We've had it against Heather, but Noella comes on, goes straight for Heather. Katie came on, went straight for Heather. Gretchen, Oh, Alexa came on with an axe to grind. You have to soft approach.
Mm-hmm.
At least wait till mid-season, get people to like you and warm up
Mm-hmm.
to you before you start the fights.
I mean, look, people couldn't figure out Jen for 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
She made it 2 seasons before we finally have started figuring her out. So, that is a little bit of a better approach.
Yeah.
And so plus there was something that you said that sparked a thought, but I've now forgotten it because I kept listening to you. I don't know where it went. It'll come back to me. But it was that Gretchen, but this is the thing. Gretchen's out of practice, but is she? Because think back to her last season, how badly she was grasping at straws, her and Slade trying to produce moments and produce storylines for themselves that just fell flat with the audience. Their whole engagement and that whole stuff. I just don't think that they're very, and I'm saying it as both of them, that they're very good at it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that they are there is maybe I'm giving us as Bravo viewers too much credit, but there is an amount of sophistication that comes with being we want to be in on the joke, but we don't want to see the joke necessarily happen. We like breaking the fourth wall and the fact that we know something that they don't know, but we don't necessarily want to know exactly how the sausage is made. Mm-hmm. And they're just not slick enough to produce storylines and not have it not able to easily be read by the audience.
Yeah.
And in the last 12 years since they've been on, it's really grown by leaps and bounds. You have to be even more slick and more covert.
Yeah.
And they're just not there. So I don't think they would ever get there. Personally, that's me.
Ooh. What else happened? Oh, so then they split up again. Another thing, production, this whole trip. And it seems to be a big thing with Bravo now. By night they meet so by day they're split into 2 groups, and it's always a mix and match depending on who you're getting along with. Twin activities, the producers are the parent and they have a group of kids who don't get along. You're going to take this one, you're going to take that one, and then we'll meet back up for dinner to discuss everything, fight out everything we spread about each other during the day.
Yep.
I have to say that obviously I've never been to Amsterdam. When they go to the stroopwafel factory, I was dying because in college, one of my roommates, his cousin, was I don't know if is KLM the Dutch airline? Yes. One of those. When she was a flight attendant, and when they had layovers in LA, she would crash at our place and she would pay me in stroopwafels for as a host gift. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
And
it's amazing.
It became my obsession. And then she would always bring them. I loved it. And then finally, that's my roommate, her cousin would be I kind of need to we shared a parking space. Be I need to keep my car here for another week. Can I give you some stroopwafels? I'd be sure.
It's the cheapest rent ever in stroopwafels.
Yeah, no worries. I'll leave the car at my parents. Yeah. So I lit up when I saw that. I was yeah. You see them around in Trader Joe's and Whole Foods and things like that. But I do have to say the ones that she brought from
I bet they were great.
Good. I've never quite matched that joy.
Oh, man. Well, guess what? We should take a field trip to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Stroopwafels and space cakes. And mushrooms in a maze.
Yeah. You can have the mushrooms.
And then, it was funny because those kind of famous last words always where they're eating the stroopwafels they made, and they're this has been a really good trip. It's probably tonight's our last dinner. We're gonna end on a high, and you're no, you're not.
Yeah,
no, you're not gonna end on that. But the other ladies go bike riding and then do a picnic. But I will say, Shannon on the bike is dangerous comedy. And I'm not gonna lie, it kind of reminded of me being on a bike in London last New Year's. I was I'm gonna run into somebody and this is not gonna be good. I'm gonna die. Oh my gosh. And eventually, as I got closer to my hotel and there was nobody on the streets, I was like, okay, this is better. But people made me nervous. I was like, ah.
Shannon must make the set medics, the production medics, really nervous. She
So
is
nervous.
just like every step, literally. I mean steps. I mean walking on a flat surface. She's like a toddler learning to walk. There is
Honestly.
just
I feel like they're gonna have to like. There's gonna end up being like a Shannon Bedore clause in like housewives contracts in the future when she eventually like falls and breaks a hip, like because of like wearing heels on a cobblestone street, and they're gonna be like, you're not allowed if you're over the age of like if you're postmenopausal and like you cannot wear heels on cobblestone streets or something.
she's
like
going to be the first housewife to have a sponsorship deal from Life Alert.
that. But she has Archie and Troy. They're supposed to help now.
God, I forgot. Yeah, with the yeah, she's just physically not. I would not
Nope.
trust her to hold my. That's what I used to say, like at parties. Like, are you drunk? I'm like, I'm not wasted, but I would not hold your baby. Like, if someone handed
Right.
me a baby, I would not trust Shannon. And I'm not saying just because of alcohol or anything. She's just unsteady day or night, sober or not. I'm like. Yeah,
No.
she would never be allowed in Carol Radswell's apartment with those stairs.
I'm not allowed in Carol Radswell's apartment with those stairs. Those are stairs that I literally would climb up on my hands and knees, like on all fours, and I would slide down on my bottom, like because I'm so scared. I hate heights so much. So when they were doing the swing thing, I was like, absolutely not. No, I would
I
have
joke online that she designed them to keep her mother-in-law from visiting.
Well, yeah. Hello. That is an astute comment. I mean, the main thing from that bike ladies picnic, that's what I have written, bike ladies picnic, is that Gina is proud of Jen for posting her own content, like her own workout content. And then Jen says what I have been saying almost this entire season, that she admits to wondering if she'll be enough for Ryan.
Yeah.
Basically. And I was like, which is a very common fear. Like, just like the other women said, none of them were like, oh no. They're like, no, that's a common fear. And I think, and I'm not even criticizing Jen for thinking that way. That is a very valid fear. When you're 47 years old and you're in the relationship with a guy, yeah, who is a playboy and like, and everything seems to be around working out and looking good. What if something happens? What if you fall and break a hip and you can't work out for like 6 months and you gain weight? You know what I mean? Like you wonder about these things, you know? So, but she says that he hasn't specifically given her anything to worry about, but it's mostly in her head. And that is completely valid. So
I'm surprised no one's come forward with his Playboy past until now. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's Orange County is a different kind of taste level. Let's just put it that way. That Newport, Orange County scene is very different. It's a bit slimier. You guys think LA is slimy? Hollywood's slimy. Oh no. Orange County is like the Miami, Fort Lauderdale, the party scene. I would just say it's sleazy guys on boats. And so you know what I mean. So what I'm trying to say is I bet there are stories about him. It didn't even occur to me. I know Tamara kind of played around with, used to flirt with her at the gym. But it's like, oh, Ryan has a past. And I bet a lot of those women would love to get on Housewives too.
Yeah. And I bet Jen knows a lot of those stories because like also like Orange County, very populated, but it's also got a small town mentality in some of these areas and stuff like that. So it's just like, yeah. It also, like, I'm sorry, you don't get to be to like almost 50 years old and have been a single guy. I think he had been married before, but having been single for many years and don't have a sexual past. Like, let's get real. So
this is a question. I saw one thing where it almost referred to him having a child Like I
Yeah,
thought there was an extra name when she was listing off the kids. I knew which ones were hers. So it's like, who's that other one? It's like, maybe it's Ryan's.
Yeah, I think I did see something that he has a kid from a previous relationship or marriage or something like that. Yeah. So, but obviously, like, they don't want to be on camera.
Yeah. It's just I saw that name. It never, because last season I was like, why is a single guy buying that family-sized McMansion? And I was like, I didn't know he had been, at that time, I didn't know he'd ever been married. It didn't occur to me he had a kid. I was just like, that's a family. That's like a Kodo house, like a Vicky, Gina Gunval's, Gina Keogh house. You know what I mean? It's a McMansion for families.
Yeah.
Well, then we get to the final dinner.
The Last Supper.
Yeah, I was trying to think of the word. Gretchen would know it better than me. I was like, what's that meal in that painting? But
I mean, it's a picture full of Jewish men. You should know it.
Yeah. I was like, this tripped me out because I had to keep checking back to the times. Like, open with the final send-off.
Yeah. They're like doing the music. It was at 34 minutes. At least on Peacock, it was at 34 minutes, and they're doing the toast, and it's doing the whole like what's been happening, final send off,
the
that
final
music, whole thing.
Yeah, and normally that's at the very. You guys know when it's like freeze frame at the white party, and they're all like, but the only one that interested me, because most of them were just like weak, boring summaries, except when Heather Dubrow reveals $5.8 million. That was the loss on the Beverly Hills home. 5.8 mil. They can afford it, by the way. They've made tens of millions off of those Newport homes that they flipped. Like tens of millions.
And I can only think that they've made tens of millions off of the stock market just in the last year, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they're not worrying. That was a staggering amount, though. I wasn't aware. In my head, I was like, they probably lost a couple million. I don't know.
Almost $6 million. That's quite a lot.
I was going to argue that $6 million, 5.8 million, that minor throwaway loss to Heather and Terry might be worth more than all her castmates combined. We could do the math.
You can do the math. I won't.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just thinking about it. I was like, that is more than their lives combined.
Probably. Yeah.
Other than that, though, their journeys, who cares? Just the money now. But that's where it drops. That's where Gina, the beat drops.
Yep.
Boom.
Yep. She confronts Gretchen about those posts that Tamara showed her. And Gretchen's like, if I like them, then I probably was just scrolling and I didn't know what I was liking. And I'm like, excuse me? Because she's like, that doesn't sound like me. Like, that doesn't. And she's so. Look, they all have a lot of Botox and fillers, and especially her. I usually am somebody who will say people react differently to things. Like, people react differently to grief and to trauma and whatever. But that I will say, I do think that was very odd. Like, the way she was just so like, I felt like she felt like she got caught.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
To me, it was either caught, zanned out, both. I mean, I was just like, there was something not even like the ones who are friendly with her, even Jen, who is essentially on her side, was like, what's her reaction doesn't make sense. I mean
because
I would have been like, what the? No, she was just like, what she was doing.
No, that you guys know that's not how I feel. Like, I don't feel that way. And it was like, but honey, if you're like, I must have just liked it as I'm scrolling, then what is your algorithm filled with?
Yeah.
because I know what my algorithm is filled with. It's an echo chamber for me of things that I like, my personal one. So like, and like the PCP is an echo chamber filled of like Bravo ones, and stuff like that.
And you've complained, not complained, but joked on here, but it's true. The PCP one, if you go to the Explore page, it's all jewelry and watches, and that's how you know that I've logged in. I mean,
because Jordan spends a lot more time on the PCP one than I do.
But browsing things like, so no, it is an echo. It absolutely feeds you what you feed it.
Yeah. So even there, like her excuses don't add up. It's like, oh, did you just decide to like type in like homophobic shit and to see what comes up and just like go through it and stuff? Are you like writing a dissertation on social media and how it feeds into homophobia and transphobia? I don't know, but like every excuse you're coming up with doesn't hold water. Because like if you really like sit and listen to her, just don't like automatically just go, oh well, that's a good excuse, or that's a good point. If you really listen to it, you're like, no, that actually isn't a good point. Like, no.
Something that comes to me from a business angle of this, because just last week Heather was coaching Jen on how to turn your Instagram into a source of income, and how her social media sales are a big part of
Gretchen?
her business. Yeah, Gretchen.
Gretchen, yeah.
Oh, did I miss? Yeah, Gretchen was lecturing Jen. That's what I meant to say. But I work on the professional side of social media, and you, especially for a public figure, you like things very carefully. Maybe once in a while you're scrolling, or you hit a friend's post or a fellow housewives, whatever, and you didn't fully read it. That's one thing. She was liking and commenting.
Because look, and you brought up a really good point. So there's two things. Somebody asked Tamara where she got these from, and she says that they were sent to her from iHeart. What that means exactly, I'm not sure. And then they were asked, how long have you known this? And she says over a year. And then of course it turns to like, well, why didn't you tell? Why didn't you da-da-da? And I was like, let's not do this. Let's not all of a sudden start to shift the blame over here for her holding on to it, but that's also what Tamara does. She does hold on to information until she needs to pull it out of her file and use it. So, but the thing is that, okay, she had this information over a year ago. If we go back and we look at these posts, one of which we found, I found it and we put it up on our social medias, is from 2023. It has not been taken down. I mean, I had to go in and I had to, from my Finsta, I had to follow Gretchen Rossi, and then I had to go to Tulsi Gabbard's and like scroll through and find it. So I know that it is actually her account that went through and liked this post and commented on this post. And the thing is, though, is that this is 2023. This is 2 years ago. She wasn't even thinking about being back on Orange County. And that's the whole point, is that a lot of these comments and likes and stuff were from the before times, before she even thought that she was going to be coming back onto the show. So she's liking and sharing stuff from her own personal views, not from the views of I'm a housewife on a television show and I need to like do this. This is the views from like, I'm an influencer in this type of sphere, and these are the things that I like. And so these are things I'm trying to sell to certain people. And that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Her argument that why didn't the media pick it up? She wasn't a part of the media at that point. She was 2023. I would just say, obviously she was already 10 years out of Housewives. She was not, we were not, and we already knew what she liked. But it was no secret. These were no secret, these posts, these tweets.
They weren't secret.
Not tweets, these posts, these likes. We saw them, but you just kind of expected it from her.
Yes.
So
also, people did pick it up. Like, maybe not the quote unquote media picked it up, but like people on Reddit 5 years ago were seeing stuff. that she had liked. And we're like, you can go on Reddit threads from 5 years ago and be like, Gretchen Rossi liked this, and this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Same for like many other current and former housewives as well. So like I think this is my problem with all that she did during this episode, and looks like she's probably going to do for the reunion, is that she's just denying it. She's just saying it's a lie, that it's a lie, that these things didn't happen, that she didn't do this. She doesn't know why. If these are your beliefs and this is what you believe in and you did it, like, you should just then double down on it and own it. Or you could be like Alexis and say, yes, I did this, but now I have learned more from my friendship with you, Heather, from this, from that, because Alexis has learned more and grown because of having a child, you know, in that community, and has changed her beliefs. Do you know what I mean? So there's different ways around it, but she's just doubling down that this isn't her, in denial, which is what she does a lot.
Yeah.
Of like just lying and denying it.
There's a lot of here in this of how could you, even with this, it was when she goes to the van, the Sprinter van, I'm so sad you're doing this to me. And she says at the table, she was mad that you're making me look this way. It was always about how she looks, and you calling her out for what she did is an attack on her.
I mean, Gretchen's like saying it's not how she feels. And Gina says to her point blank, no, it's not how you want to present how you feel. Which is directly like that.
Yeah.
And notice how Emily said she didn't get really upset until after she talked to Slade. And I go, no, she didn't really get upset until you guys told her she couldn't ride in the car with you.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what it is that she doesn't want to be ostracized from the group again. Like, she doesn't want to be like singled out, you know, and that's really harsh. There was for a second, I kind of felt bad for her, like having been like the former unpopular girl. Well, I'm probably still unpopular. I know it's okay. But, you know, but that is a harsh thing. But that was her reaction. It wasn't like exactly like, how can you be doing this to me? Why are you kicking me out of the group, out of the car? And that's when she got really upset. She's not upset that she's hurt her friends, that she hurt her friend at all. Or, you know, no, it's just, and she thinks that because she had a drag queen host a Tupperware party back in 2009, that doesn't make her a bigot, you know? It's like, character is who you are when nobody's looking. That's the problem, Gretchen. I don't think she realizes that.
No.
Because for her, it's all about how she presents. It's all about the perfect hair and the perfect makeup.
Remember what Gina said a couple episodes ago about Gretchen, is that you always have to watch out for the ones who sit front row at church.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, like I said, I'm not an expert. I have seen those I've seen those posts. I've seen them over the years. Like, I'd be like, oh, that's a Scott. Oh, of course Gretchen liked it. Like, just... it wasn't a shock to me. I was more shocked that this was shocking to them. Like, it's well known if you're on social media in the housewives community, like we're fellow housewives, you know what I mean, in the Bravo sphere, in this group, as they say in the after show, it's just known. I was like, that's same with that's Gretchen being Gretchen. I was like, what? And at that time I was like, whatever, we're never going to see her again. Do what you want. I don't care. And then she came back on and was not expecting this kind of...
I think that's the thing too, that she came on and thought that it wouldn't, but look, and this is the thing too, is that Orange County, just like Vicky said, that Heather doesn't belong in Orange County because she's a liberal. Like, Vicky wasn't completely wrong there in a lot of ways. Like, she wasn't. So I don't doubt that there are other cast members, or have been other cast members, who feel the same way that Gretchen does. But at the same time, like, these are like, it's not, I disagree with those posts, period. I'm just going to make that out. I disagree with them. We still technically live in a country where you're allowed to voice your own opinion, and that's fine. I have a problem with Gretchen lying about it, and also ingratiating herself into Heather and trying to get in with the rich girl, you know, while basically hating everything that she stands for, if that makes sense. Like she's playing the money on the other way. And I'm just like,
another thing I was going to say about that too, like basically we were just saying, another thing where I would see Gretchen in posts throughout the years, the many years she was off, is these kind of luncheons, these kind of things with really with the Heather Dubrow League of Newport, the super rich, the names like, and the ones with the Birkins and all that stuff, which Gretchen's like the poor one in that group. Obviously, these people are literally pulling up in like Bugattis and Rolls Royces, and she's always there and looking pretty, but she's not truly one of them. Heather has that kind of money. And I feel like Heather has a place in that circle that Gretchen can't afford. You know, think of it as in Beverly Hills terms, sucking up to Kathy or something. You know what I mean? It's, or the way Sutton views certain people based on where they are on the hierarchy. And Heather is above Gretchen in many, 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 many ways. But so it is what you were saying about the sucking up to the rich woman. I do think it's because Heather, despite not really aligning with a lot of those people, she has clout that Gretchen can't afford.
Yeah, obviously she can't afford. Because she also says, I saw in the like thing for the reunion, she's like, I spent thousands of dollars on a cyber analysis of the post, and I'm like, well, then you should ask for your money back, because obviously that was fine.
Wait, that's another thing we need to get into, the way it closes out.
Yes.
And that is, it's so weird. That guy whose name is blocked out, every rap production, he DMs these housewives and says, a friend of mine has been talking to Tamra. You don't know me, but here's everything that's going on. We need to, this season, enough with,
it needs to stop.
Yeah.
It needs to stop, because also, like, I keep going, I go, I'm sorry. Like, you're having a phone conversation with this person. Did they change their voice, or did production change their voice? Like, I don't know. We don't know who this person's voice is. And I'm like, to be honest with you, this information could have come from any of you guys. Because apparently, because y'all all talk to bloggers, you all like our stuff, you all like all the different people's like things, any of the women or any of their husbands, and you cannot tell me. To be honest with you, I feel like this would come more from fucking Gretchen or Slade,
right,
than it would come from Tamra.
Okay, thank you. That was where I was going. Why is it a week after production ended on a very, very bad note for Gretchen, that suddenly the women get a DM? Wait, there's more to how evil Tamra is. Call me.
Yeah.
That is, who does that benefit? Why did the guy do it? Unless
and look,
Gretchen was
there are
like,
people. There are people reaching out. Like there is somebody who reached out to us, and they were all like, and it went into our request, but I just kind of like ignored it. But they're like, if you're interested in the real stories on the OC Housewives, let me know. And then like sent me their phone number, or it was in the PCP stuff. And I was like, we're not getting involved in this shit. Like I said, we're here to like spout our opinions and our conspiracy theories about like these shows and stuff like that, and the stuff that we know from our knowledge of production and our knowledge of working in reality television. But this shit is just like, no, it's just, I go with the whole acronym, keep it simple, stupid. Like, what do we think here? That Tamra...
Kiss. I was doing the math. I was like...
Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. Like, what do we think here? That Tamra like had a whole bunch of these posts like redone, and that she's the only person who follows like any of these people, even though like Gretchen has 1 million followers on Instagram and is highly active on social media as well, and has lots of followers active on social media on her behalf.
I mean, I don't want to get into the dark side of it, but I've seen posts that aren't homophobic or transphobic, but just in the past couple of days, she's still liking things where I'm like, I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't
Yeah.
I wouldn't. She's still doing the same comments, and it's nothing hateful, but I'm like, yeah, you're just kind of proving everybody's point.
Proving everybody's point right. And or like that Tamara set up all of this stuff, or just that Gretchen and Slade are pissed off that they got a bad edit, that things sound whatever, and they did it. It's too much. It's just too much. None of it actually is simple. None of it is simple, and it's all stupid.
I'm surprised production allowed that weird call from that nameless. At least earlier in the season, it was Kiki Monique, and they named her and they brought her on the show. This was so sketchy. It could have been a PA. Right? It could have been a PA. Like that episode, the season ended on a weird note. Let's we need something else to cast.
Yeah.
Make it murky.
Yeah. Or it's, or it's like, this is like Gretchen's hairdresser, or it's Tamara's, facialist. I don't know. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's all like, who is this? Because exactly, before it was Kiki Monique, we had a name, we had one person's name, and there you go. I don't know.
Yeah. Let me just say,
I think it's Gretchen. If it's real, it's Gretchen or Slade, to be honest with you. It's not Tamara.
Right. Because I was going to say, if someone came to, they did come to us with that, or whoever, I don't know. We don't know because we never called. We didn't reply. No. But when stuff like that comes through DMs and stuff, I'm like, if I don't know
wary
you,
of it.
I'm like, if I don't know who you are, if you were really that well connected to know this stuff, I would know who you are. I'd be aware of you. Never heard of you. No, not even mutuals. You're not followed by anyone. I'm like, you're just trying to. Yeah.
I always see from Star Wars, it's a trap. Like that's what my spidey senses do. It's a trap. Mm-hmm. Like I'm not getting involved in this stuff. I would rather miss out on the scoop of the century than get involved in a trap like this. And it's a sand trap, and I want to get out. So yeah,
not parties. I don't want to dissuade people from DMing us with if it's a party of the century. Yes, we will spread the worst, the most hate. No, I'm joking. Yes, not the party part. That's very serious to me. But no.
Fun stuff. We're all
but I don't know. I'm not getting sued. By the way, if you want to sue me, there's not much to come after. So
not much at all. But if you want us to have more to come after, you should definitely subscribe.
Help build us up so the housewives could tear us down.
Yeah, exactly.
And all you have to do is subscribe.
Mm-hmm. Help us celebrate our 300 episodes. There you go. Whee!
Yeah. And then we still have this is weird. This is the season finale, and then we go into the reunion. What this episode did is set us up for the reunion. It was almost like when they were actively filming, they were like, well, we'll settle this at the reunion. And that's how we left off. So we'll be back here next Monday.
Yep. Oh my gosh, you guys. It's like holiday season. It's the best part of the holiday season is wrapping up OC and beginning Beverly Hills in December.
Yeah, December 4th, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Early birthday present for me. Again. All right. So I think that's it. Is there anything else? No, I think so.
Auf Wiedersehen or Dutch Glogen.
Tot ziens.